Good morning. It's the words of Rehab Jimmy. It's Monday morning. Kind of rainy here on the East Coast. I want to share a little story with you this morning about my last day of active addiction. You know, that was August 17th of 2012 was my last day of actually trying to think that I could get out of this hole that I dug myself in. That week prior to that is when I finally admitted to my wife and my family of what I was up to, running around, stealing, selling, copping, all that stuff. And I tried to detox myself and wean myself off that week, and I didn't. Obviously, I relapsed pretty bad. So on August 17th, I was on I always say I'm on a crash course for disaster, and my addiction got me to the point where I woke up that day and I had just an arsenal of narcotics. And I started that morning right away. As soon as I got up, I popped 10 30 milligram Rocosets. And I was on a death suicide mission. And I just, I thought at that point that, this addiction kicked my ass so bad that I wanted to die, and I didn't care about my beautiful home, my wife, my two kids, what it affected them. All I cared about was how I was going to get out of this mess that I dug myself in. So I started with that, and I went to work, and promised my wife that I wouldn't cash my paycheck. And I'd bring it home and whatever. I didn't care, so I just whatever to keep her off of my back. I just made her happy. So it's sure whatever, no problem. I had no intention on doing that. I kept working that morning and made a lot of moves and cashed my paycheck and went and picked up even more drugs. And by the afternoon, she'd realized that I cashed my check, and I had already sniffed about 8 ball cocaine, on top of taking another 10 or 11 Rocosets, another 30 milligrams. So I was up to about 20 and one 8 ball at that point, and I just was on just going. And that afternoon kept going, and I was well into my second 8 ball cocaine. And, just total, shot out wreckage, man. It was just absolutely insane. And, by 4 o'clock, I called my wife up, and, she said that, she was not coming home, and, she had taken the kids and gone to her brother's, and for me to stop there on my way home. And, I already knew at that point that that was their staged little intervention to try and force me to go to rehab. At that point, I said, no way, I said, I'm done, So I called her up, said, it started this big fight, said, I'm not coming home, I'll figure this out, and, just this whole trying to manipulate her like I have for years, and still didn't give a shit. Driving like a maniac, running red lights, just total disregard for any well-being of myself or anybody. I didn't even care. Insanity of this shit. So, after leaving work at 5:30, I drove around for hours. Hours. By the time I got back to Vineland, to where I live, I had taken probably close to 38 or 39 30 milligram Rocosets. I already killed another whole 8 ball cocaine. Now I'm like, shit, okay. I have to go try and talk to my wife to try and figure out how I'm going to try and do something I don't even know. So I took 11 Valium, bring myself down, try and chill out. Did all that. I don't even remember driving home. But I do remember getting home and just being total total mess. And the first thing I got home, went and looked for, was my guns. And I was going to shoot myself. And I couldn't find them. She had taken my guns. So after calling and arguing on the phone, you know, it was very bad. At that point, I only had a few pain pills left. So I took those, and I figured total was about 40, 41, 42 30 milligram Rocosets that day. And you know, she wasn't going to come home, so I went and got a few more pain pills, you know, and that was only Vicodin 10s. So I went and got about 10 more of them, and a couple 50 grams of cocaine on top of that again. And I picked up a bundle of heroin. And I came back to my house, and then before I did anything, I stopped at my brother-in-law's where my wife was, and it's about 11:30 at night now, and started this huge scene. I was trying to steal my wife's truck, and just total nightmare. And you know, she said that she wasn't going to come home and unless I went and got help. And I said, okay, no problem. And I left there, and again, I didn't stop for one red light. I didn't stop for no stop signs. And I made it back to my house again. And this is why I say, like, when I shared this stuff, man, like, God, through all this stuff, and even beyond more of this, the shitty deals that I've been in and all that, God carried my ass and kept me alive. You know, I'm so grateful for that. But anyway, I made it back to my house, and I'm stood in the room that I'm recording this video right now, which is in my living room. And I drew up 100 cc's of heroin in a syringe. And I was looking at a mirror on the wall, and I was crying. I was standing there looking at this mirror, and I said, if I shoot this, I know instant death. I know I would stop breathing overdose, and nobody would find me because she wasn't going to come home. And you know, if she couldn't get a hold of me, she probably figured I would have went to sleep. So it probably wouldn't have been till the next day that my wife found me, or my kids found me, or my mother, or whoever. So, you know, they talk about this spiritual movement, or you got this soul inside of you, and I wasn't spiritual at all at that point. Standing looking in this mirror, and I kept saying to myself, is this what I want? Do I really want to die? And you know, how did I get to this point? How in the hell did I'm such a strong person, but I'm so weak and so tired and sick at this point. How in the hell did I let my addiction kick my ass? And it kicked my ass. I can't explain what happened over this spiritual, this feeling of just, it's okay. You need to go get help. So I said, I don't want to die. God help me. God, just help me. Help me. Just help me. I squeezed out the syringe and snapped it in half and threw it away, and called my wife and said, just come home. I need to go get help. The next day, I was on a flight to the watershed in Florida to rehab. I have a tattoo on my arm that's got a set of hands praying. It says, "Look for the good, 8/18/2012," which is my sobriety date. Look for the good is something I learned in rehab, that I'm not a bad person. Look for the good, try and take a positive and turn it into a negative. And that's one of the reasons I started the Words of Rehab Jimmy and hopeandfaith.org, because everybody that has an addiction, you're still good people. If if you're in active addiction right now, it's cool. You can go get help. You don't have to overdose and almost die. You don't have to do any of that. Just, you can go get help and get back on the right track like I am now. I'm living at 10 months this month of sobriety. I'm sharing this story, my experience, strength, and hope, because what I've started, hopeandfaith.org, and helping is something that's so dear and near to my heart, because I work with teenagers and young adults and trying to be a big brother to them, and a role model, and show them the way that, you know what, it's cool that you're in the situation that you're in right now, but you're being a bigger person to get help, and trying to make things right, and trying to coach them and showing them what I do to stay where I'm at right now. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. When they checked me into the rehab, they didn't even detox me for 24 hours because I still had so much remnants of all them drugs in my system that they were scared that it was actually going to make me sick. So I had to wait until I started really getting into the dope sick stuff. But in the end, I'm glad they did, because in 7 days later, I was done the detox and I was off the drugs. 7 days. Versus years of running around fighting dope sick. Just in 7 days, it's all it took to get my shit right and get out of that fog. 7 days. I could have never done that 7 days by myself at home. The dope sick won't allow you. So I wanted to share that with you. And I've never really did this on here and shared the whole dark side of my last day of using. I hope it shows you why I do what I do, and why did I put myself out here like this. A lot of people keep doubting me still, and I call them the naysayers. Oh, you're going to relapse, you're going to relapse. And you know what? I don't even fight that, because I've seen other people relapse. And I just say, I'm going to keep it simple and pray. I have today. And I live in today. And I will always live in today, in the moment, in this minute where I'm at right now. I can't live that far ahead of myself anymore like I used to. If I keep doing that, doing the next right thing, then I know I'm going to be all right. This is the Words of Rehab Jimmy. I love every one of my fans and my supporters. You guys mean the world to me. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Hopefully helping somebody else out. So I hope everybody has a great day. God bless every one of you. And keep listening and following me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.